reading the script, it does inform you about the whole tone of the episode. And definitely in episode 9, it's built up and it's reaching this reveal now of what everyone's sort of gone through.
The first thing I wanted to know was in episode 9, there's a lot of focus on the other timeline, like the 1950s timeline. For you as an actor, how much do you keep track of all of that, and how much does that kind of inform your performance with all the episodes, not just with that one?
The show obviously spans between the two timelines. We're in the modern time, and we're not aware of what they're doing. Watching the show for the first time is when we get to see what they're actually doing. So whilst in the process of doing the show, we're not aware of what they're really doing, but we know their story. We know that Keiko is a anchor to the whole story, and that she's such a prominent figure in the whole mix of things. I personally love the 1950s group. I think they're dealing with so much. There's a lot of undertones that you can feel. Yeah.
But you didn't feel like you had to kind of read the whole script and keep all of that in mind. Like you could just focus on your own stuff and stay kind of present.
I think so. Because there isn't really an interaction between my character and anyone
Yeah.
from the 50s. It does reading the script. It does inform you about the whole tone of the episode, and definitely in episode 9, it's built up and it's reaching this reveal now of what everyone's sort of gone through.
There's this scene where Kentaro's in the hospital and he thinks Kate is dead, and he's kind of talking about how to go on. Looking back at the season, was there a moment where you think she became someone that really felt like family to him? Because I know it wasn't like that when they met.
No, it definitely didn't start out like that. I think that just shows sort of the development of Kentaro, that I mean, that's what family is. I think at the end of the day, like, you just care about them, no matter what complex situation it is. I think you end up kind of having this care for them, and I don't know if it was an exact moment which he felt that, but I think it was a gradual realization of him realizing that she's gone through a lot. She's gone through this whole experience through, not just their present journey, but also from back from G Day. So I think it was this increasing gradual care for her that just came up.
I want to talk about the confrontation with Kentaro and his father, but for you as an actor, do you do anything to get into character? And is it harder for dramatic scenes like that, or for scenes where you have to pretend there's a big titan in front of you? Like, I feel like both would be hard in their own way.
They are hard in their own way. I have trouble with dealing with the unrealistic things of the nature of the monsterverse. Like acting like there's Godzilla right in front of you, or there's an ice titan chasing from behind you, and you have to react in a certain way. That stuff is difficult. I had trouble with that, but luckily I had a great scene partners. I just had to react along with them, which helped me a lot. With the emotional scenes, that is easier for me, especially when I'm feeling a sense of grief. I tend to do that quite naturally. I don't know how to explain it, but I just and maybe it's because I'm understanding and relating to the script. Yeah. Especially the confrontation with my father. That scene that could totally happen to me in my own life. You know, I've had a similar situation with my family, so those scenes to me is pretty close to reality. So not a lot of preparing. Actually, I just read the scenes the night before and just go with it the next day.
With that scene in particular, were there a lot of were there other versions of that that you filmed? Because there, in watching it, it's like, wow, they're both very standoffish right off the bat. There's no hugs. Like Kentaro's been looking for his father, and then when he sees him, he's not really happy to see him. It doesn't seem like
Yeah, no.
were there
Um,
other ways that you had done that first?
but no, we didn't play it out like that. Um, at least the beginning of the scene, we definitely went with that idea that that I have a resentment towards him, and that I don't want to be associated with him right now. I think it would have been weird to walk into that room and I'm happy to see him with everything that I've been through with losing losing touch with Kate and May. There's so much that I think Kentaro was going through.
How was it working with Takahiro on that? Because did you have a rapport with him already through the season? I know you had like there was the scene in the art gallery, but I don't know if you two knew each other well at that point or
I didn't know him prior to this, and we've shot a couple scenes before that confrontation scene. Like you said, in the art gallery. Um, and we, being Japanese actors, there's a certain level of connection, I think. Um, and I don't know. I think I was lucky. I was lucky because I was able to genuinely talk to Tak. Talk about. I remember I asked him like, "Do you think this line sounds weird?" Because we're talking in Japanese, so there's only us that know what's really going on set. So I would ask like, "Oh, do you think this line sounds weird?" And he would suggest like, "Oh, maybe try saying this." Um, but at the same time, he gave me a lot of freedom and space. Although I'm very new to this job and it was my first time on set, he gave me this um, space to just do whatever I wanted to. He was like, you know, you do what feels right. And yeah, I also want to add that I think he's a great actor. That that his although he's not a reoccurring character like that. His when he's on screen, it feels very soulful.
there is this moment in that conversation where he has like the files and he's saying that he is looking for answers. And it seems like at that point in the season, he's learned so much already and he's kind of accomplished the goal of finding his father. Like, what do you feel like is left for him in that moment? Like, is there something else that he is hoping for?
I feel like he's dealing with a mixture of things. I don't really know what it is certainly that he wants to do at that point. I think the loss of Kate is the big.
Yeah.
It took a big toll on him, and um, he's kind of asked to forget everything and just go on with this normal life that he had prior to being on this journey. And that doesn't sit well with him, right?
Yeah.
He has trouble dealing with that. He wants to help. He still wants to help. He still wants to be a part of, um, a monarch. So I think there's still a level of motivation and curiosity in him.
I'm curious, is there a scene from this whole season maybe that was the hardest for you to feel like you had a handle on or get through?
I do remember doing a scene and really felt like I just couldn't do it. I couldn't perform it on the level that I wanted to. And it's not the emotional scenes. It's not the big, you know, big emotion scenes or a big reaction to a monster. It's like those little scenes. I can't say exactly what scene it is, but it's like it's not that significant of a scene, but I just had trouble delivering. It's really weird. It's like those little things that really mess with my self conscious and um, yeah, it's the weird little scenes for me.
I know we don't know anything about a season two, like, but are there parts of Kentaro or his growth as a character that you would be interested in exploring in a season?
I think this where it can go in any direction. I feel like it really can go in any direction. He's in the beginning of the season, in the beginning of this show. He's yet to find his own path. His his main motive was to find his father, and now that he has, and now that he's learned a little bit about his identity and the truth behind him, um, I'm also curious to know what his next motive is. Is like where does his what does he want to do? So yeah, I want to know. I want to know. Yeah.
I know this is like kind of your first big thing. It's you. I think I told you this yesterday, but you're so great in this. I'm wondering, like, looking to the future, do you have another kind of project that you would be really excited to do as an actor?
I don't have a specific project. I think um I don't know. I don't really look at the projects. I look at how what can be achieved through my expression is what attracts me. I've just been inspired by these actors who were truly authentic and they're able to evoke a sort of emotion that you normally don't get in real life. You you get these moments in these films that really move you and changes your perspective on life. I'm sorry, I'm going off in a tangent, but I'm just talking about what inspires me.
That's great.
Yeah,
That's awesome. Thank you so much.
thank you.